Tea Time Disc Golf is back. This is Steve Bro with Devin Frederick.
How's it going, everybody?
So we're back with the 2018 World Championships at Smuggler's Notch, the Fox Run course sponsored by Innova. What a beautiful course. What a beautiful venue. We're so blessed to be out here playing on the biggest stage at two of the nicest courses that we have in the country. We have some really hot golf happening at 5 down between Eagle and Hank. They're both sitting at 5 down. And Joel at 1 down had a rough start, but he's making some putts and he's getting right back into it.
Yeah, and we're going to be starting this off on hole 10 on Fox Run. It's one of those you almost feel like it's a must-get.
Yeah, it definitely plays into a either a putter or a forehand shot for most of your pros. Literally, if you walk away without the birdie on this hole, you feel like you have missed out on one of the scoring opportunities on this back nine.
But yeah, just 17 out of the 18 holes out there. This one has OB. You'll see it 20 feet to the right, about almost outside the circle, right around circle's edge to the back, and all down the left side if you hang it out too wide.
Yeah, so we see what these guys can do here. You do have that safety uphill kind of to give you a little bit of a cushion on a more aggressive shot. We're going to see Joel play the forehand, and he's asking for it to move.
And skipping well inside the circle, so he should be fine.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he can't be more than 15, 20 feet from the basket. And Eagle lining up the forehand as well.
Another great shot. With the upslope where the basket is, the forehand knifing in tends to not move very much.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of skip out of it. That was a really good shot out of Eagle. And Hank collecting with the backhand and left himself just a little bit short, but he's going to be just inside the circle as well.
Yeah, he should be able to give that a good bid going uphill, not too worried about going long.
I just missed it right. So, unfortunately, Hank's going to take his par here. And we'll see whether or not Joel and Eagle can capitalize on what were two extremely good flicks.
That's pretty routine out of Joel. They're both within 15.
Yeah, Joel with a good putt. Eagle is not going to have any problem cleaning this up for his birdie. So that's going to put Eagle at 6 down. Hank's going to stay at 5 down, and Joel's going to move to 2 down. So, again, you know, Joel is starting to make some putts and starting to score well. Yeah, there's so much to do out here. It's not just about disc golf. When you come to Smuggler's Notch, there's hiking and waterfalls, and you just really get a chance to take in the scenery and enjoy the outdoors. And we're going to move on to hole number 11, which is a 575-foot par 4. This is a very important tee shot. You want to land it in the right area to get yourself set up for the second shot, because the second shot's it's not an easy shot at all to get down there to the basket.
No, not at all. You can see, once again, we got out of bounds right and left. You're just trying to keep it in the fairway. Farther down there you get, the easier you can make your second shot into these woods. And OB behind this basket's only 15, 20 feet again. So shooting over the crest of the hill and getting it to nestle by the basket's no easy task.
Yeah, no, you do. You have OB that lines the entire fairway, and then you have OB that lines the entire green inside of that as well. So certainly you want to play a safer shot. Joel testing himself with that left side OB.
And yeah, you'll see players play to either the right or the left side of this initial tree here, and either flexing a turnover as a right-handed backhand player or throwing the straight hyzer and getting up there as far as you can.
Yeah, just you see a very controlled, smart drive out of Eagle. He's not trying to bite off 550 feet on a backhand. He's just trying to play really smart, controlled golf.
And yeah, he definitely has the distance to get all the way up there to the gap. So
Absolutely.
It definitely shows some maturity and some game planning to set himself up to where he thinks he can score.
Hank does not like it out of his hand. Let's see if he can get lucky and kick back in bounds. It was going to be close, but I think he was out of bounds. And Eagle not happy with that flick.
Just came out a little low. Up a little higher, if he would have crested that hill, he would have been fine, I bet.
Yep.
Wow.
And Joel just a little bit too low as well. Got just another 6 inches in the air, and that would have scooted all the way down to the basket.
Yeah, with the elevation going over that hill, I mean, you don't want to clear the crest by much.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be heading for the OB.
Eagle is forced to lay up there, and he's going to take his par. Joel with a very tricky putt through the woods, but he's leaving himself just inside the circle.
And you can see anywhere slightly off the fairway down here by the basket, and you have trees to contend with.
Yeah, so Hank, unfortunately, he's laying up, and he's going to end up taking his bogey with the OB stroke there.
And Joel missing one that I'm sure he feels like he should have got.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I thought Joel would have put that in. So he's going to end up taking a bogey as well.
Hank cleaning up. Eagle's going to clean up.
Yeah, so Eagle walking away with a par. We're going to be moving to another tricky hole, though. I mean, after hole 11, you get to hole 12, and once again, it's an important placement shot off the tee box because that right-hand side, you can see this hedgerow and the tree line on that right-hand side. If you get stuck behind that, you're going to have a very difficult second shot up to the basket. So you want to be more on the left-hand side of this fairway off the tee. That way you can have a clean look up the next fairway to get to the basket.
And, yeah, it's two pretty good pools. It's probably over 400 to get to the OB from the tee box, and then probably close to another 400, just short of it, to get up to the basket.
Beautiful link style, though. I love where you have the OB rough that's running through the middle of the separation of the two fairways. This is one of those holes that you look at and you go, course design-wise, these guys did a really good job with this course. Eagle throwing a strong hyzer out to a landing area. That is almost ideal as far as setting himself up for the second shot.
Okay, nice. Great. Good shot.
And he's sawing it off just a little bit. He's going to leave himself a good bit of distance, and maybe not the best run-up either.
Yeah, I think last year that would have been OB. I think that they extended the OB to the left-hand side a little bit. So Joel fortunate to be inbounds with that shot. Hank with a decent shot.
Yeah, good placement shot. He's right in the middle of the fairway.
Yep.
Here's Joel with his second shot. Kind of tough footing. We'll see if that stays in. It does not look like it. It looks like he's going to be out of bounds.
Yeah, with a little bit of an uphill footing, he just sawed it off.
An Eagle electing with the forehand again.
Just left it a little low. Up higher, I feel like it had plenty of power, just low.
Yeah,
Didn't have time to carry.
And a great up by Hank. Really, really smart shot.
Yeah, just playing the hole for his par. Just fairway, got it up and down.
Eagle leaving a little bit right, but he's going to be well inside the circle. I don't see him having a problem with that putt.
Joel looks like he's eyeing this up. Got it up high enough.
Oh, what a good run. Yeah, he was... you could tell that was a desperation putt. He really wanted that one after going out of bounds on his upshot.
Made good on the comebacker.
And you can see Eagle right there next to him, so we'll see whether or not Eagle can put this in here for his par.
Good clean up out of Eagle.
And then Hank's just tapping in. Really good textbook par out of Hank. And we're going to head and move on to hole number 13. We're getting into a part of the course now where we have a couple of holes that you can score on. Hole number 13 certainly being one of those. One of the shorter par threes. You crest this hill. The basket is to the left through the woods. But this is definitely one of those holes that you want to score on.
Yeah, you just want to kind of challenge this telephone pole as a right-handed backhand player and cut right inside, right after it, and kind of get a couple skips over towards the basket.
If you leave it to the left even a little bit, you can still get a putt off through those trees. But really, this is one of those holes you want to walk away with a 2 on.
I'm guessing Eagle's going with some kind of mid-range. And yeah, just skipping it on down there, getting a little roll inside the circle.
Fantastic result out of that shot. He played this slope absolutely perfect. And Joel trying to do the same thing. He's just a little bit wider, and he does catch a late tree.
And once again, inside the circle.
Yeah, I think he's right there next to the basket.
Hank going with his Stevie B T-Bird.
Really good looking shot. That looks like it's just going to be about,
great shot.
Yeah, about 10 feet away from the basket. Joel with a good putt. Getting his 2. This is, like I said, this is an important hole going down the stretch where you're trying to make up some strokes. There's a lot of OB on this course.
Every hole but one.
Yep.
Routine putt out of Hank, cleaning up his birdie.
And Eagle obviously got down there real close. And he's going to go ahead and tap in his birdie as well. So we saw some good drives out of those guys. They played the slope the right way. And then we're going to move on to hole number 14. This is a 380-foot hole. You are playing into a grove of trees, and the basket is tucked in there about 50 feet into those trees. So it is a tough landing area. You can get knocked around in there if you try to be too aggressive, and you have OB that runs, again, the entire length of the hole.
Yeah, 380 feet. It plays uphill, so it's probably playing closer to 410, and the basket is on a hillside, so hitting one of those trees, you can find a rollaway to the OB. Errant putts can find rollaways to OB, or just longer than you're wanting.
And Eagle's going to throw a MD3 here on a really good line, but he just caught that initial guardian tree. It's going to leave him a little bit like circle's edge, just outside circle's edge for his putt. Joel, he's throwing the strong hyzer. He's trying to get something to come in late.
Once again, catches one of the outside trees, going to leave him outside the circle.
And Hank pulling out his Star Destroyer. Puts it on a... Yeah, just a little bit weak there. I don't think he got all of that.
No, but he's safe, and he should be able to get up and down pretty easy.
Ooh, looked like he hit the basket there.
Gave it a good run.
Yeah, he definitely did. The Eagle's got a small gap.
You don't always end up in one of those gaps. And Joel's looking like he's got a pretty open putt.
Dude. What are you even aiming at? That is unreal.
Yeah, not happy about the way he's putting right now. He didn't start out very well with the putter, and then he kind of picked it back up, but you can tell that he's a bit uncomfortable right now. We'll see the rest of these guys clean up these putts here.
I believe this will be pars for everybody.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing. Again, these two holes, hole 13 and 14, is really where you want to score. Hole number 15 is a newer, a little bit harder of a hole. It takes a little bit more to get down there. So going down the stretch, there are some holes that you want to score well. And nobody getting that last hole was a bit surprising.
And yeah, here we are, hole 15, 315-foot par 3. This is one after playing all those holes of Fox Run. You almost feel like you're stepping over to Brewster Ridge. It's one of the only holes in the woods out here. It's the only hole without OB, but it's tight. If you hit any tree early and kick off the fairway, you are in serious scramble mode.
Yeah, and it can, I mean, at 315 feet, most of these guys can throw a putter reasonably straight with a little bit of right-hand turn. And if you can throw a putter straight, then you're going to be in good shape. Eagle's going to elect to throw the forehand. A little bit early. You know, if that had straightened out just a little bit more for him, he would have been okay.
Yeah, I think you want to push the back edge of this fairway a little more than the front.
Boy, Joel got that up in the air, but that's on a great line.
And you could see Joel pushed the back edge of the fairway a little more than the front with the forehand, and he was able to get up there for his putt.
Yeah, he'll be inside the circle. And Hank pulling out his buzz.
Just trying to get a little hyzer flip, go straight, fade a little right,
Get around.
and just turns it a little too early and kicks off to the left. He's going to have some work cut out for him.
Pulling out the Firebird, he's going to throw a thumber and try to get it up close to where he has a putt. Eagle having to manufacture a shot, and he's going to put himself right there.
That was a great shot out
What a
of Eagle.
fantastic shot. And Hank laying up. He'll take his medicine and walk away.
And Joel just can't find that putt today.
No. Now, unfortunate because
He's playing good golf. He's just not finishing.
if you count up the shorter putts that he's missed, he's on a hot round. You know, I mean, he's actually playing good golf. So, Hank gonna tap in his bogey once again. You know, he wasn't trying to force something. He took his medicine. He knew he was going to get the 4. He just laid it up and tapped it in. And it's time to move on. So we're going to move on to hole number 16. This is, again, this hole has a ton of teeth. It's one of the newer holes out here. You have a very, very long drive or fairway driver shot because you do have OB that is at this gap between the end of the woods here and then out into the open where the basket is. You have an OB line, so you need to be careful on the tee shot.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see various different ways of people attacking this hole. Some will just be throwing a putter off the tee, trying to keep it in the middle, get out to the opening on their second shot, take their 4. You'll see some guys going mid-range, maybe fairway driver, trying to get farther down the fairway to be able to attack their birdies.
Yeah, and then once you get out into the open, you have OB on the left and the right. You can see the white stakes again. Slightly elevated basket, so you want to get it close. But really, I think the teeth on this hole is that initial fairway as well as that gap getting out into the open is going to be the toughest 2 parts of this hole.
Yeah, throwing 350 feet dead straight is probably one of the hardest throws in the game.
That was such a good shot by Eagle. He put himself exactly where you need to be. And Joel with a really good shot, too. He's going to be right behind Eagle there. They're going to have really good looks out of that gap and into the next fairway.
And yeah, being a little more to the right side of this fairway is definitely a little better than the right, just in the way you have to shape your shot to get to the pin on your second.
That's leaking a little bit, but here it comes.
That was a good rollout right
Yeah.
there.
He probably didn't realize that rolled out to the middle until he got up there, because that definitely looked like it was going to stay left. And here's Hank throwing a really good T-bird shot out into that gap. That's a really safe, controlled shot.
Yeah, right on the edge of circle 2. Be able to give it a little bit of a bid.
Joel and Eagle have to be salivating a little bit on this second shot because they can both reach this without an issue. And Joel's just, probably sitting at 40, 45 feet from the basket.
Yeah, challenging that telephone pole, putting it out over the OB.
Looks like Eagle's throwing this MD3 again. He really was taken to that disc. Has plenty of stability. That's a good looking shot. Oh yeah.
Well within circle 1. And Hank just laying up. He's right there. Easy tap in for his par.
Well, let's see if Joel can make good on a good drive and a good upshot.
Just a little high. A lot of his putts have been just off. And that was easy work out of Eagle for his birdie.
Eagle with a very good birdie there.
Joel and Hank cleaning up their pars.
Yeah, and Eagle now sitting on a very good round at 8 under par. So, he's he's going down the stretch. If he can get the last 2 holes at 10 under par, he's probably going to be close to the lead at this point in the tournament. So we'll see how he can finish up. And then Move on to hole number 17, which is one of the easier of the par threes. Again, it's slightly downhill, so it probably plays more like a 350-foot hyzer shot for most backhanded right-handed players.
But yeah, the downhill, and it's a pretty big hyzer. I think it catches people off guard how much of a hyzer this is. You want to almost hug those trees on the left a little bit more than you want to play it safe out wide. If you play it out wide, you might find yourself not coming back into bounds.
You got OB all over the place once again, but you can see how big of a hyzer Eagle's throwing just over those trees, watching it come back. And that is going to be really close to the out of bounds. We've seen Eagle get fortunate once today with a close call on the out of bounds. We'll see how this one works out for him as well. And Joel with his just a little bit wider. He's going to be flirting with that other side, and yeah, he ends up out of bounds too.
Yeah, you can see he took it out. What you feel comfortable about with a hyzer, and it goes out of bounds. You really need to hug them inside trees.
Wow. Hank's going to throw his Steve Brinster T-Bird, which is, I think, the smart disc here. It has enough stability and enough glide to get him down to the basket.
Yeah, I think the big thing is the glide, just putting it up there and let it glide down the hill. And that's a good-looking shot.
A little bit inside. He's going to leave himself right at circle 2, which means that the way Hank's playing today, he will pitch it up. Oh, wow.
Really?
He
Pitch it
actually
up?
went for that. I thought for sure it was a pitch up, drop in your 3 and place mark off, but no, he gave that a run.
Eagle with an uphill putt.
Rise that much.
Yeah, he can't be happy about missing this hole. This is a
Yeah, great putt.
oh, what a great putt by Joel.
Good par save.
Yeah. Yeah, he needed that.
And Eagle and Hank will just be routinely cleaning up their pars.
Yeah, so hole number 17, again, one of those holes that you want to get your 2 going down the stretch, because hole number 18 is no easy hole. Probably one of the more difficult finishing holes in disc golf that we end up playing. But there you see Joel's great putt. What a great 3 save. And now these guys are finally finishing up their round of golf, and they move on to hole number 18, which is 775 feet. You have OB, as you can see, all down the right-hand side in the white stakes. Then you have OB on the left-hand side where the road is, and it kind of curves all the way back and around to where the basket is, with OB long as well behind the basket, so you have to be careful there. But just about everybody is playing a controlled hyzer shot down to the bottom of this hill and then trying to find a way to the basket, whether that means going over the top, throwing a forehand shot, and or trying to finesse a backhand over to the basket as well.
Yeah, and with the elevation change, this is a pretty big downhill shot. It's real easy to leave it up too high and leak out to the OB to the left, or just throw it too hard downhill and turn it over and stay OB to the right. So it is a technical hole, and especially with the tree right in the middle of the fairway, 2/3 of the way down there, you got to pick and choose how you're going to navigate around that to a hill with the basket.
And wind is going to be an issue on this hole just about all the time. If you have calm conditions, you feel like you've won something out here because the wind is constantly blowing. An Eagle with just a really strong hyzer, but he left it, well, no, it's good. It's going to be right in the middle of the fairway there. It almost looked like he was disappointed and thought it was leaking too far to the left. See if Joel can unleash here and show us where a good landing spot is.
And that's that controlled hyzer, like you said, just landed in a safe spot.
Yep, just make sure you're inbounds, and then you'll figure out how to get there for your second shot. But just make sure your first shot is inbounds. That needs to sit down.
And it digs. That grass down there is usually pretty forgiving.
Yeah, that was nice. Just a good controlled shot. He's going to throw another hyzer shot.
Oh, come on, dude.
Oh,
Leaking a little right.
wow. That's going to be
Close.
extremely close to the OB line, but he may be good.
I think he's going to leave that up to the group.
Yeah. And we have Joel with a big forehand.
That might be a little wide as well.
Nah, it looks like it's okay. It's going to be close, though. These guys are living on the edge on this hole.
An eagle in a good spot to throw the forehand out and around.
Yeah, getting very aggressive and
Sit.
wow.
You can see this
Wow.
hill in
Wow.
action.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. There is no way that just happened.
Just in bounds. Is it?
It may be out of bounds.
That's
is
incredible.
One of the worst.
That was a great shot. Right up to the basket there.
Yeah, I'm still blown away by how much that rolled for eagle. And Joel's going to give this a run, but to a little bit to the left-hand side.
We got lucky not to roll like eagle.
Yeah. We get another look at it here. Yeah, just to the right-hand side. We'll see if eagle can put this in. All right, so that's going to wrap up day one at the 2018 World Championships. We're at Smuggler's Notch in Vermont, and what a beautiful setting. We got to give a big thanks to Tea Time Disc Golf, to all the guys that do their thing out there and bring you coverage. Please like and subscribe to Tea Time Disc Golf. Thank you to Jeff Spring and the entire staff out here for Worlds. What an amazing venue. What a great place to be spending the week. Devin, thank you for being here for commentary.
Thanks for having me. Thanks to all the spotters and volunteers and everybody that helps out make this tournament epic. It's beautiful out here. The Vermont landscape's great. And thanks to Innova for sponsoring up the Fox Run side, and Discraft for sponsoring up the Brewster Ridge side, and all the other sponsors.
And we are going to be heading to Brewster Ridge for coverage of day two. So we will see you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. We look forward to bringing you coverage for the rest of the week.